welcome to Exploring Fort Saskatchewan. I'm Dominique. I'm at the only, now I'm looking directly into the camera when I say this, the only craft brewery in Fort Saskatchewan. I'm here with the one and only Kevin Moore. Kevin, how the hell are you today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good. We want to get that out there. A lot of people we were talking about before don't know you're here, and we want to make sure that they know there's a brewery here in Fort Saskatchewan. It's right here.
Yeah.
I know, we're going to talk about it for really good. All right, tell us a little bit about who you are, when you started up, what you offer, and like get people to come down here. Well, when are you open?
So we're open 5 days a week now.
Okay.
We have gone through sort of a pause reset. We've been here for 2 years now. We did a reset here in the spring. We were open 7 days a week. Now we're open 5. So those out there who do know about us, there was kind of that misconception when we first opened that we were a pub, that we were a bar. A lot of people were disappointed when we first opened that we didn't have a kitchen. And that's kind of why we're talking today. We're a brewery, and we're very proud to be the first craft brewery in Fort Saskatchewan. There's getting a lot of media play that there's that craft brewing renaissance in Alberta. I mean, without getting into the whole history behind it, the liquor laws changed in 2013, late 2013. So basically, from 2014 until now, we went from 9 breweries in Alberta to now we're over 60. And with new ones opening every month. And we chose Fort Saskatchewan. We have beer all over Alberta, you know, right from Medicine Hat all the way up to Fort McMurray in the mountains. So we're everywhere. We're in the major liquor stores, Liquor Depot, Sobeys. That's our main business, is making beer and getting it out to stores. But
I'll ask you one question to cut you off. Why did you choose the Fort? Because you're here. What, you could have went to Edmonton, Sherwood Park, St. Albert. You're here.
yeah, well, I mean, we lived here, but we really fell in love with this town. It's a city, but it has a small town feel. And we kind of read the market. And while some people starting their business plan want to be in the big metro center, kind of the way the boom is going, and looking at provinces that were ahead of ours, you know, you have to carve your place in the market. So, you know, our love of the city, you know, if you can carve your little corner of the market by finding a city and making it yours.
No, absolutely.
And that's what we've done. I'm not going to lie, it's been a bit of a struggle in this city, getting the word out and getting people to know that, and take ownership of us, to know that, hey, this, you know, I always use this story, and it happens to us every time. We've been going to the beer fests in Calgary now for 3 years, and there's 2 of them a year, and there's one in Banff. And we'll go there, and people will say, "Where are you from?" And we always say Fort Saskatchewan. We could easily say Edmonton. We're close enough. And we'll see people, and they're like, "Wow, we're from Fort Saskatchewan. We never knew you were there." And this is 2 years. Well, technically 3, because we contract brewed for a year.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah. So, and that's where we say it's kind of frustrating that we're from a town of, or a city of 25,000 people, and almost 3 years into our business plan, people are still, like, people from Fort Saskatchewan say, "Wow, we never knew you were here."
And the thing is it's not that you're tucked away anywhere, because you're on the main drag. You're just on the other side of the building. People love craft beer, especially in this city. I know craft beers go as well. Your beer's got a great taste to it. Plus, you give a lot back to the city and a lot back to charities, which
We do, yeah.
like, this is why I think we wanted to talk. Like, I want to talk with you, and we want to talk. We did something a long time ago, and we're talking again, and we're doing this again. This is where a small town, and again, don't nobody get mad and send me emails on that. You know what I mean. A city should support its local businesses, whether it's us with the marketing or Kevin with the brewery. Like, it's we have this now, support it now, and I know I'm kind of stepping on what you want to talk about, but I'll let you say it. We've got this now in our beautiful city. Come and support Kevin. Like, I'll let you say, you want to say something, and I kind of stepped on it really quick, but this is where, we've got this now. We've got this in our city. You're passionate. You're like ridiculously passionate about this. You see, you smile when I say that.
Yeah,
See?
real positive things to talk about. But you and I were talking about this at the farmers market last week, and I'll just throw that little plug in. Yes, some exciting news come out about 2 weeks ago, and finally craft beer has been recognized. So you're not just going to see BC wineries at the farmers market next week. Fingers crossed, if we can get all the paperwork done, you will see two sergeants at the farmers market. So come see and taste our beer and buy some. So
You mean you don't even have tastings?
Oh yeah, you can taste it, you can buy growlers, but so we were talking at the farmers market about your podcast, about the whole unfortunate situation with the jump and Judy's safety. And the reason I want to bring that up is because we're in the same complex, the old/new Fort Mall. And we were just talking about our struggles as a small business in Fort Saskatchewan, a small independently owned business. And again, please, viewers of this, don't see this as this is my experience as an entrepreneur in this marketplace. It almost feels like people only support independent business in this city once they've gone out of business. It's, I follow all the forums. The Fort Saskatchewan forums, and, people get so excited when the next big box store is coming in. When the next Tim Hortons is opening up, when the next big name franchise is coming into town, and I'm not going to name them all by name, but you know what I'm talking about. But the only time they really talk about the independently small-owned business is when they've gone out of business or they're in trouble. And that whole jump situation is a perfect example. I mean, if people were that passionate about the jump while they were open, they wouldn't have gone out of business. And, without talking outside my lane, there was a lot more to that situation than noise complaints and Judy's safety. So, the purpose of this video podcast with you is sort of, hopefully there's people who don't know what we're about. So we're going to talk about some of the things that we do and say, hey, this is what we're about. If you haven't come down to see us,
what are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for? Yeah.
What are you waiting for? Like, and I'll say that, me and him, I've always liked Kevin. There was something about you I liked, and I can see, like, you and me, we don't put up with bullshit, and I'm gonna say that. And the beards, but I know that about you. Don't bullshit. Me too. Don't. Oh my God, I almost said something else, but and this is where, if you haven't been here yet, what are you waiting for? My mind is exploding right now. You want good beer? What are you waiting for? Yeah, there's other places in town. We're not knocking them. Go there. Go visit everybody, but come here. All right, now the question that's been on my lips and probably everybody's is, what makes your beer so special, and why should people come to Fort Saskatchewan, and all the Fort Saskatchewan people come and drink it?
Great question. So every craft brewery sort of has their own take on beer. I mean, the macro breweries, Coors Light, they're Canadian, and yes, I'm dropping those names.
Sponsorship.
Oh yeah, the real sponsorship. Their their whole marketing shtick is it always tastes the same and drink it cold, cold, cold. The reason you want to drink it cold, cold, cold is because the colder a beer, the less flavor it has, and you really don't want to taste what that crap tastes like. There's really...
Sponsorship's gone.
No, I'm going to tell you, if you went on a brewery tour, there's a reason why they don't let you actually walk the breweries, because they're investing a lot of money in advertising. You probably see those Molson Canadian commercials where it shows the bearded guy holding up the grain. You know what? They use a lot of corn syrups and adjuncts, and that's how they get that clean, crisp, always tastes the same, because they're not using the ingredients that we do as a craft brewery. So all craft breweries use all natural grains. Alberta has the best barley on the planet.
Wow.
It does. It really does. So I would say over 50% of our barley comes from Alberta. And we would use all Alberta barley, but we have a strong English influence to a lot of our beers. So there's just certain barleys we have to get from England. But what I will say is we use the finest barley in the world. And where we could cheap out and use a less expensive product, we don't.
Okay.
Some of the barleys that we use, some of the malts that we use are twice as expensive as the regular varieties that we could use. And we pride ourselves on that we use only the finest quality. The second thing is the work that goes into it. We've had people come in, I mean, you see everything, and that's the way we designed it. People can come in and see it. Yeah. And, you know, the pub will be open when we're brewing, so if there's a reason to come down. And people say, wow, I have never realized how much work goes into making a beer. You know, it's a real manually intensive process.
And you do this almost daily.
Several times a week, yeah, definitely. So the next cool thing that I really want to talk about, when we talked about our sort of business reset, is we're trying to do everything as sustainable as possible. So when we brew with malt, you know, we have all this wet malt left over. Rather than throw it away, we found a farm in Redwater. I mean, a lot of breweries give it to farms, but we found a specific farm in Redwater that farms bison and elk.
Oh.
So we give it to that specific farm, and then in turn, we buy their meat from them.
So it's full circle.
It's full circle. So when we heard the customers and they say, we want better food here, so we're the only place in Fort Saskatchewan where you can buy wild game. We serve bison and elk here that's actually fed with the grains from the brewing process.
So you can have a beer while eating something that was made from the beer that you're drinking.
Exactly.
That's awesome!
It's completely full circle. And we have future plans to expand a kitchen and offer more wild game. That's sort of step one. And that's something you look forward to, but right now, with the facilities we have, I mean, that's the food that we can offer. Now we've also switched. We used to do in bottles. We've switched to cans.
Oh yes, we'll be sure to take some B-roll of this. Yeah.
And of course, everybody hates those duck killer plastic straps. So now we use this PackTech product, which is made from 100% recycled plastic material. But the beauty of these is they can be reused. So we've started a social media initiative that if you buy these from us, once you've used your 4 cans, bring these back to us, and then we'll reuse them until they're not reusable anymore.
Okay.
Or if you buy it
awesome.
from the liquor store, don't put it in the recycling. I mean, recycling uses resources. We'll just repackage it, and plus it saves us a small business. You know,
Yeah.
these things cost us 33 cents each. So, I mean, if you bring it back to us, that saves us 33 cents, and we can pass on those savings to the customer, right?
Exactly.
So we're trying to do all these things to be more sustainable. You know, the grain goes to help a farmer, and that farmer, I mean, everybody loves farmers. The farmers have to spend less output to feed their livestock, and then we buy the meat back from them and serve it to the customers. I mean,
and this is why we're here now. When we're talking about this to the people who watch the show in Fort Saskatchewan. If you have no clue what the hell's going on, come down.
Yeah, and these are the things that we do. You know, we're not just a brewery that makes beer with, you know, 2 grumpy owners, and that's the other thing. This is the type of establishment where guaranteed, like 70% of the time, all the time, you will come in here and one of the 2 owners will be here and sit and talk with you. This is Cheers. I mean, it is not your typical establishment.
So everybody knows your name.
Pretty much. And if not, we'll make one up for you.
So I've got to say something that I noticed, and I'm sure a lot of people out there are going to notice. By doing this with the completely recyclable cans, you've spearheaded something that is going to lower yours and everybody else's carbon footprint in this world. And for a small business to do that and to kind of think about not just themselves but the people around them and everything, that's one thing that you should be acknowledged and kind of thanked for, because I'm sure a lot of other breweries might have thought of this and, you know what, it's not financially feasible, we don't want to do it, where you guys went, no, we're doing this and we're doing this for the environment, and that's amazing.
Yeah,
Did I catch you off guard?
No, I think it's kind of, I mean, I've got the buff on and the long hair, so I can act like a hippie. I mean, we do as much as we can. I mean, we've completely eliminated bar straws. I mean, that's just...
What was that? Bar
straws. We don't
straws.
We don't give them out with drinks anymore.
Wow, and that's another environmental thing.
It is, yeah. Any little thing that we can do. I mean, we have our limited time on this planet, but I mean, I've managed to procreate 3 times. I have children, and it's the most cliche thing you can say, but let's try and leave the planet a little bit better than
Well, I think
it was for
what
us.
you're doing, you're actually putting, and I know you're the guy who, if he says he's going to do it, he's going to do it. You're putting your words, your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
You're not saying all this stuff to garner media attention and have people come, and then when they leave, it's like, well, screw this, I'm just doing this. It's like, no, we're going to do this. We're doing this for the environment, and that's it. Not only do you make an unbelievable product, it's like, well, we're looking out for our world, trying to make it a little bit better than we found.
Yeah.
I want to thank, and now we all stand up tall. I want to thank so much for you coming out. It was great when we met at the market and we started talking, and it was good. You scared the head off of me, because for sure I thought I was being whacked. I was standing there, and all of a sudden you're right behind me, and it was completely silent. I'm like, yeah, if this would have been this, I would have never saw it coming. It would have been completely over, and I was telling her, never saw it coming. And I want to thank you. I appreciate your time. I appreciate what you said. And now,
Let's have a beer.
let's have a beer. Yeah, and everybody in Fort Saskatchewan, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, the United States, come here. You're making a mark. Not only is it environmentally friendly, it tastes incredible. Incredible! 2 Sergeants Brewery here in Fort Saskatchewan. Thanks everybody for joining us. Curtis Dominique for Exploring Fort Saskatchewan. Eye on the market. Keep an eye out, because somebody might be there very soon. Till then, bye for now. Thanks for joining us. See you guys next week.